This is Ecclesiasticus 36:1. Have mercy upon us, O Lord God of all, and behold us. Right? Who's us? The Israelites, the elect. Okay. And and send thy fear upon all the heathens, or and send thy fear upon all the nations that seek not after thee. Lift up thy hand against the strange nations, and let them see thy power. And when did that happen? During the when Israel was held in was in the house of bondage during the time of Pharaoh, the Egyptians. It says, lift up thy hand against the strange nations and let them see thy power. And the scriptures say that Pharaoh was born just to be destroyed, to see his own kingdom that he built, the dynasty that they had accomplished, it was overthrown. As thou wast sanctified in us before them, so be thou magnified among them before us, and let them know thee as we have known thee, that there is no God but only thou, O God. Show new signs and make other strange wonders. Glorify thy hand and thy right arm, that they may set forth thy wondrous works. Raise up indignation and pour out wrath. Take away the adversary and destroy the enemy. Make the time short, right? In Matthew chapter 24, the Lord is doing that. For who? The elect's sake. Let's get it real quick. Matthew chapter 24, verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake those days shall be shortened. So the Lord is in control. He's the one that's pushing all the buttons. It says, Ecclesiasticus 36:8. Make the time short, remember the covenant, and let them declare thy wonderful works. And who are declaring the Most High's wonderful works? The men that are out in the highways and the byways pushing the truth out. Okay. Yeah, the ones that are fall under the title GMS, the Great Millstone. Okay, because you have several other Israelite groups out there that ain't pushing the same doctrine. It says, let him that escapeth be consumed. Let him that escapeth be consumed by the rage of the fire, and let them perish that oppress the poor. Smite and sunder the heads of the rulers of the heathen. And who are the heads of the rulers? The elite, the Illuminati, the Bilderberg, Rothschilds, international bankers, what have you. The fake Jews that are over there in Israel right now, the Zionists. It says, smite and sunder the heads of the rulers of the heathen that say there is none other but we. And that's proud, being proud. That's what Esau is in the other nations. They're proud. And they think they're the only, they don't think God exists. Which is another thing why, the Most High is coming back to destroy this place. Let's get Psalms chapter 9, verse 15. The heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made, and the net which they hid in their own foot. In the net which they hid is their own foot taken. The Lord is known by the judgment which he executed. So that's how the Lord makes himself known, by executing judgment. And that's one way he's going to make the heathen know. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Haggaim, Salah. The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget God. So the Lord is coming back to, declare war upon the heathen and make known his himself. like he did in the time of Pharaoh. I'm going to jump. It says, verse 18, for the needy shall not always be forgotten. The expectation of the poor shall not perish forever. And that's for the elect's sake. Arise, O Lord, let not man prevail. Let the heathen be judged in thy sight. Put them in fear, O Lord, that the nations may know themselves to be but men. Right? Because Esau, he thinks he's a god. He thinks he won't. Esau thinks he's never going to die. Right? That the Lord is not going to come back. The creator of all this, the earth, the visible and invisible. Right? And then, like it says, put them in fear, O Lord, that the nations may know themselves to be but men. Right? And the scriptures say that we're like worms. We're like beasts. So, and this is Isaiah 58:6. Break their teeth, O God, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Lord. And that represents their strength and power. Let them melt away as waters which run continually. When he bendeth his bow to shoot his arrows, let them be as cut in pieces. As a snail which melteth, let every one of them pass away. And that's what the wicked are. That's what man is. It's like a snail. He's like a worm. Like a grasshopper. He just goes away. He's born and he goes away. Let the untimely birth of a woman, like the untimely birth of a woman, that they may not see the sun. Before your pots can fill the thorns, he shall take them away as with a whirlwind, both living and in his wrath. The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked, so that a man shall say, verily there is a reward for the righteous. Verily he is a God that judgeth in the earth. So that's what we're waiting for. That's what the elect is waiting for the judgment of the heathen, of the wicked, and the downfall of Esau. Okay, so I'm going to get some examples on some proud men. The first one I'm going to get is in the book of Daniel, which is Nebuchadnezzar. I'm just going to get straight to the point. This is Daniel chapter 5 Daniel chapter 4 verse 37. Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and extol and honor the King of heaven, all whose works are true and his ways judgment, and those that walk in pride he is able to abase. Because Nebuchadnezzar was given the mind of a beast, and he was the scriptures say he had his body is real hairy, and his fingernails were like bird's claws, and he was eating the grass of the earth. Okay, until he gave all glory and honor to the Most High. Then the Most High gave him back his understanding, and then he gave all glory and honor to the Most High. But this is Nebuchadnezzar giving his testimony in verse 37, Daniel 4:37. Because those that are proud, the Lord is going to knock them down, throw them down. And this is Acts chapter 12, verse 22. And the people, or verse 21, and upon a set day, Herod, arrayed in royal apparel, sat upon his throne and made an oration unto them. And the people gave a shout, saying, It is the voice of a God. and not of a man. And immediately the angel of the Lord smote him, because he gave not God the glory, and he was eaten of worms and gave up the ghost. So there's another example, that Esau is going to be thrown down. He's going to get destroyed. And it's too late for him to give glory and honor to the Most High. He lost that back whenever he gave up his birthright to his brother Jacob. Get that real quick. This is Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person, as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected, for he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. So there you go again. I'm gonna get another example. This is in the book, the Apocryphal, 2nd Maccabees chapter 9, verse 1. About that time came Antiochus with this honor out of the country of Persia, and he had entered the city called Persepolis, and went about to rob the temple and to hold the city. Whereupon the multitude running to defend themselves with their weapons, but turned to flight. And so it happened that Antiochus, being put to flight of the inhabitants thereof with shame, so he wasn't able to accomplish what he wanted to do. Right? But I'm gonna get to the point. Let me see. Verse 4, then swelling with anger, he thought to avenge upon the Jews the disgrace done unto him by those that made him flee. Now, I'm going to jump down to verse 5. But the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, smote him with an incurable and invisible plague. For as soon as he had spoken these words, a pain of the bowels that was remediless came upon him, and sore torments of the inner parts. Nothing could cure him from that disease that the Most High afflicted him with. And most justly, for he had tormented other men's bowels with many and strange torments. Howbeit, he nothing at all ceased from his bragging, but still was filled with pride, breathing out fire in his rage against the Jews, and commanding to haste the journey. But it came to pass that he fell down from his chariot, carried violently, so that having a sore fall, all the members of his body were much pained. And thus he that a little afore thought he might command the waves of the sea. He thought he was a god. He thought he had that kind of power. So proud was he beyond the condition of man. He was over exceedingly proud. Alright. This is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 7. Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunk over wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. So that's what Antiochus Epiphanes was going through, right? But now it's gonna affect his whole nation, all the whole stock and the whole stock of Edom, of Esau. There's nothing that can cure him. So 2nd Maccabees chapter 9, verse 8. And thus he that a little afore thought he might command the waves of the sea. So proud was he beyond the condition of man, and weighed the high mountains in a balance, was now cast on the ground and carried in an horse litter, showing forth unto all the manifest power of God. And we that know the scriptures, we know that like Isaiah chapter 14, and I believe it's Ezekiel, within the book of Ezekiel, where it talks about how he wanted to set himself up